Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's Friday. Welcome into Beyond the Finish Line. How we doing this fine Friday morning? It's November 21st. The weather's kind of cool outside. Here in Georgia, it hasn't got super cold yet, but I feel like we have came out of the Georgia heat, but Mother Nature likes to surprise us a lot here, so we'll see. But right now, it's a beautiful Friday morning. We've got college ball this weekend. We've got good NFL matchups this weekend. It's just a good weekend of sports. The UFC is over in Qatar. Hey, early morning card. SEC kind of doesn't have as many matchups this weekend, right? But the UFC starts at 10 a.m. with some preliminary. The prelims are early. I love early cards. Kind of gives you a good start to the day in the UFC world. Before we get started, or if you're back watching, hit that follow button, like it, subscribe, share. I'd appreciate it. And then give me a call on the Couch Coach line, 404-590-3224. I just love to hear your thoughts on some football. So are you a couch coach like me? I'm guilty. 100% I'm guilty. I definitely like to say some things when the coaches are not doing exactly what I want them to do, and that's when I turn into that couch coach. So, like I said, share your thoughts with me on the season, on your team, as the coaching carousel heats up. Hey, is Lane Kiffin staying at Ole Miss? Or is he headed down to the Bayou? That's one cool thing about Lane Kiffin. He's a troll. We all know that. But the dude loves to. He likes to play mind games, and I like that about Lane. So his social media tear, he hasn't shown any signs that he's headed out of town. Truthfully, if I had to make a bet, probably saying he's staying at Ole Miss. But like I say, if you're here, you're watching this, if you found my video here on YouTube on accident or on TikTok, give me a follow. Help me reach that goal there. Trying to get to 100 followers. And I talk sports. Don't claim to know them all, but I know a little. And it's Friday. We are here. We made it another week. College is there's a few good matchups this weekend. It's not an ultra competitive weekend, and if that's the SEC, it is what it is. So game day didn't really have as many choices, but I would imagine, because when you look at when you look at the matchups for the week, they had to have thought, hey, we're gonna have some good games down the stretch. Penn State, hey, preseason number 1. Them in Texas, nowhere to be found. Tennessee, Florida, who knows? Maybe they thought they were going to Gainesville this year because DJ Lagway was supposed to be a guy. So we have a packed Friday show. kind of going into the weekend talking about the the Eugene Oregon matchup with the Trojans. If if Oregon wins, are they in? Are they in regardless? Um, I would I would I would like to say so. That would give them that stronger resume. Um, I personally think that with you looking at the rankings, that if Oregon wins, they're in. Obviously, the Trojans are then done. But with those matchups, I mean, it can get pretty chaotic. Uh, because if Cincinnati was to upset BYU, um, what if Missouri went into Norman, Oklahoma, and took down the Sooners at home after they just beat Bama to kind of slide themselves up into the rankings? Could Missouri do it? Can Missouri go up in there and beat the Sooners? Um, I think we'll see. We'll see that freshman quarterback, and is Eli Drinkwitz on his way out of town. I think he's going to be a hot commodity. He's probably going. I don't know. Penn State has been very quiet. You cannot. They've kept it very quiet on their hunt, and I assume. I mean, when you're talking about the coaching carousel, I mean, let's call it what it is. Your boy Kiffin is the first domino. As soon as Kiffin signs or leaves or decides to stay, he's supposed to be meeting with the AD today. I think they just want some clarity. They just want some clarity over there in Oxford. What he's built is. I'll appreciate you for the TGIF. TGIF. Finding out if Kiffin is staying. And is Dabo taking interviews? There's reports that he was some reports that Dabo was interviewing with Arkansas. Are they going to get a fresh start? Is Clemson actually in the head coaching hunt? I think it's going to get really interesting. Is Mike Norvell at Florida State actually keeping his job? People said that's where James Franklin was supposed to go. He found out some news and didn't decide to. And so I think it's one of those things, right? Penn State, there's the Dayball rumors. Dabo, Arkansas, there's a lot of rumors just kind of been tossing. Who knows what's real and what's fake? But it could get really crazy. I just don't know why. Here's my thing. Why does Ole Miss want such a answer? Their team is ranked 6th. It's like, what are you going to do if he says, I'm going to LSU? Are you telling the man he can't coach the team that he's led to one loss to the 4th-ranked team? Like, you're not taking his team away, or you telling him to get out of town? Is he getting ran out of town like he did in Tennessee? I don't know. I don't think that that's the case at all. But I think that they just want clarity. The athletic director, the entire Ole Miss fan base is kind of they're kind of up in arms right now because if you look at what Lane has built over there, I mean, Lane's built a very solid program at Ole Miss. I just don't think that he can get the amount of talent that he can get at LSU or even Florida. Honestly, thinking back for Ron Dabo for looking if that's what he's doing. Who knows? It might be his agent trying to get him some leverage on an extension, but he's not really in the position to to shoot for some leverage. A lot of times these agents will just, they'll tell a reporter, "Hey, these people are calling." That looks like that's what Kalen DeBoer's agent is doing. Why would he ever leave Alabama for Penn State? They're claiming the Penn State is on him heavy, but I think that's his agent, and so is that what Dabo's agent's doing? Dabo hasn't. He's not been as successful enough. He's not been like in the past couple years to start putting some leverage situation out there between you and I. I mean, if that's what he's doing, cool. But he may be looking for a fresh start. I don't know why Arkansas would be the head of the hunt there. Doesn't seem like the best job on the market there. Hold the phone. What happened? Hold up. We them boys. I don't know what happened. What did I press? I don't know. I think I pressed something. I was hitting that button. Yeah. Did I I have no idea what just happened, man. I don't know what happened there, man. I don't know what happened. Holy shnikes. What'd you do? Yeah, I don't know what just happened. I pressed my logo button. Actually, I think I probably pressed the wrong button. I ain't even gonna act like I didn't. I think I definitely pressed the wrong button, and then I looked over and my whole screen was just white. It said live ended. I said, dang. Yeah, Tommy boy, he's the GOAT. You'll never find another movie as funny as Tommy boy. It ain't your fault, son. It ain't your fault. I'd like to dedicate this segment here to anybody who's ever been accused of being at fault. It ain't your fault, son. Is I saw a report from one of my. Yeah, we're not being accused. Oh, look, see, I got a wave button now. That mug be waving at you when I press it. See? We on top now, boy. my head researcher sent me an article. Said Coach O. I don't know, I want from LSU. Was gonna be on Lane Kiffin's staff if he were to go to LSU. Now, I had heard he was being. This is a national championship winning coach we're talking about here. And he's not even. I seen Arkansas might be looking at him as their head coach. That's why the Dabo news is wild. Yeah, that's Coach O on a staff. I know he wants to just get back into coaching. I know that but I assumed he would get a head coaching job. The dude had one of the best teams in college football ever. That 2019 LSU team might be the best team in NFL. In NFL, maybe NFL, maybe college, Canadian Football League, all of them. They'll beat a team everywhere. That 2019 LSU football team was so good. I mean, when you look at some of the names, it's like Joe Burrow, obviously, Jamar Chase. You got Justin Jefferson, CEH, Edwards Hilaire. Like, that was a crazy good football team. So I don't know why the dude obviously can recruit. I think I seen an interview with Coach O on. I think it was on Pardon the Interruption or Pardon My Take, one of them Barstool shows. But the guy can recruit, and he was telling Joey Burrow, like, "Hey, we gotta have you," and he did. So he should get a head coaching job. I don't know why Coach O is not. Why he's not coaching somewhere at this point. He should be. And then Penn State, who's going to end up as the Penn State coach? Nope, I don't know how to coach. I'm just a couch coach. Always. I wouldn't want the life of the football coach, honestly. Like, the amount of stuff, especially in today's world with the money, boy, I don't. The amount of you got to recruit your own players all year. Yeah, for sure. Not happening. Can't do that. Nope. But the hours that they spend in I don't even know how they stay married, to be real with you. Some of them ain't. That's why Lane Kiffin got his E60 out there. I think my early prediction on the Penn State head coaching job, though, is going to be Brian Daboll. If he wants to coach again, I think his buyout from the Giants was a pretty significant number. So, does he want to take a break? Does he want to even go into college ball from the NFL world? Kind of feels like they're the same, except in college ball there's no contracts. They can kind of go where they want, if you will. I think that's the biggest thing with NIL. There needs to be some kind of contract. If I'm getting this amount of money, you're staying for 2 years. If I break these as a coach or a school or a team, then contract, but there's got to be some kind of regulations, and I talk about that way too often. But they're recruiting their own guys before the season's over because the amount of phone calls and tampering that happens just at the end of the season. I mean, no thank you. Like there's a transfer portal in the middle of the playoffs. So like if you want, it's crazy. That whole thing is interesting right now. So but I think with Lane meeting with the AD today, that's going to really spark the coaching. I think Lane is going to stay. That's me. I think Lane is going to stay. Um but when we have the it'll be out there before we realize it. Lane may break the news on Twitter himself cuz that's what he do. Um Apparently Penn State has zeroed in on their guy, and it is not Kalen DeBoer. Shocker, I know. I don't know who it could be. Yeah, he's definitely staying. I think Jimmy Sexton, his agent, is just trying to do a little more fluffing of the pillow, if you will. But apparently the AD said, yeah. And what he's built, right? What he's built. So that's my thing. Now, he was a coach under Saban. He wants to win a national championship as a head coach. Like, probably like any coach would. So, that part is kind of obvious. Can he do that at Ole Miss? Maybe. Realtree seems to be very involved with the Ole Miss NIL fund. But the pressure, LSU is hiring and Florida is hiring because these coaches that they brought in, right, didn't get them to the national championship or win a ring for them or get close or blah, blah, blah in, was it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? How long was Napier at Florida? What was Napier's timeline? 5 years? Billy Napier was at. No. So in 2021 is when Billy Napier was hired. So they gave him. So it was the 22 season, 23 season, 24 season, and middle of the 25 season. So Billy Napier got ran out of town 4 seasons. Why would Lane Kiffin want to run in? Why would Lane Kiffin want to run to the team that is expected he wins in, X3-4 with what he's built at Ole Miss? The pressure's not on the pressure's on himself, obviously, as a coach. He wants to win. But from what Ole Miss was, I'm with you. I don't see Lane Kiffin leaving what he's got. There's no way. Oh dang, got the corn up in this bit. Oh yeah. It's corn. That's that video, I think, ain't it? It's corn. I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know how none of this works. Boom. It's on. Yeah. Bruh. Goat. Not me. Not the goat. Oh, there it is. Um, but I was looking at the top three of each conference. Coaching carousel is gonna. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the live time 5. The top three in every conference. Ohio State, we'll go Big Ten. Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon. Combined record 30 wins, 1 loss. Now, what does that mean as far as the Big Ten? I'm sure that there are records out there about what the teams that they have played, but Indiana and Oregon played each other at Oregon. When you go to the SEC, you've got A&M, Georgia, and then Ole Miss. There's 2 losses. They're 29-2. Big 12, you got Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, 27-4. And then the ACC, Miami, Georgia Tech, and Virginia, 26-5. That is their combined records. Now, it's interesting because Tech is the 9-1 team, or the 9-1 team. Miami has 2 losses. Miami beat the brakes off of NC State. That's who Georgia Tech lost to. I as someone that lives here in Georgia, I think it'd be cool to get Georgia Tech. And if they win the ACC, can you really deny them? I've seen a few people throwing out the Group of 5 team. It's definitely mixed emotions. Okay. If they get in, I feel how do I explain this without pissing off the world? I feel like that the difference between your bubble team in the basketball tournament is trying to be compared to the number 12 of your highest ranked group of 5 team. But in what world, and this is where the committee just does kind of what they want. The committee it's a little bit different of a Cinderella story on a football field with these guys than it is with the basketball tournament. You can absolutely have a run with the basketball tournament. Well, I don't know how much NIL has changed that. Again, bigger schools. Are we going to actually see the little schools? We'll find out, but more or less, it's a lot of it is that group of 5 highest ranked conference champion at the 12 seed. Oh, so cool. But are we trying to get the best 12 teams in? If they're not ranked in the top 12, you obviously don't consider them one of the best 12 teams in the country. So, how do we go about not doing that? Um, we just hit. Hi. Um, yeah, we want the best 12 teams in the tournament. And if one of those best 12 teams is Tulane, awesome. But if they're ranked 24th, I don't know that you can keep them in, if you will. But they may show up. They may come in and go on a run. But we'll see. We'll see. Somebody says no longer confident about Lane staying Ole Miss. Maybe he's not. Maybe my so maybe the sweepstakes are real. Maybe Lane is headed to LSU. He's taking Kawan Lacey with him. They are on a first-class trip to LSU. Just call them the Bayou Lane. Lane Kiffin down in the Bayou. Wow. Congratulations, Lane. Head coach of the LSU Tigers. Their governor will even bring a tiger to sit by you on the sideline. Jeff Landry will do whatever you want. Whatever you want. You'll come down there and help take them back to the promised land. Their governor, Jeff Landry, is wild. Some of the things that this dude has said, like, man. Yeah, that one is Lane is your new head coach of the LSU Tigers. I don't really think so, but I wonder if yeah. I don't know. People are wild. That you never know what to believe. You can believe this shit though. Hold up. We them boys. Wait till you see this. My man. Hey, this one's for real though. This dude's taking senior pictures. You think this dude's the one that just committed? Yo, my man. Franklins are happy as hell. You know when you go to take senior pictures and they bring you up in there and they're like, hey, we need you to put just put the front of this gown here on. You're like, all right, got you. And I'm trying to get her. This is wow, my man James. My man James up there. They say, oh, just put this cap and gown on. Nah, we gotta go. This one? Nope. Yeah. Hold up. We them boys. Are you ready for this? Dun 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 dun. Oh man. Class of 2026, senior, starting quarterback, James Franklin. Man. Wow. We're headed to the ship. This dude look like $9 million happy. Oh yeah, this one right here. They put this one on his senior page right here, boy. Congrats for graduating. Love, mom and dad. I like James. Boy, this social media team's got him doing gymnastics, making him look crazy. Just post these right here yesterday. You are like, boom, you got him. He's home. Look, you got it. You got the man out here holding a flag on the field. Looking good. Come on. What? Somebody tell the social media team they're making this deal. I love it. Do this. Get a picture of it. You don't need to be sharing this with everybody. Man, this social media team. Back to old times. Enter Sandman. Look, he thinking right there. Damn, these people is wild. What have I done? Oh no. Those eyes say I'm about to decommit. Oh no, James. They got James Franklin out here. This whole brother.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome. I watched you land this thing. Welcome to Blacksburg, baby. Hey, James, it's good. They're going to be awesome. But the social media team got to chill out. They got this man looking goofy out there. Taking senior pictures. He just joined a fraternity. He ain't even been there for 30 damn seconds and done joined a fraternity. What y'all got this man doing over there? Yeah, they did a high school pep rally for James Franklin. That's a normal thing. I think like Signetti did that, which Signetti so far talked his ish, but has backed it up. I don't think James Franklin's more or less talking his ish. I just think that he's ready to play ball. I heard he's trying to coach this weekend. I heard he's trying to coach this weekend. Um, single foul lines. Yeah. And if you're talking, going back to class. This list is interesting because Georgia runs like 4 running backs. Diego Pavia being their ISS, the in school suspension. Don't even think about it. They didn't. They didn't let us when we was already in there go to the pep rallies. You just had to listen to it from down the hall. Dang. What's it like over there? Kawan Lacey might be the second best running back in the league. Jeremiah Love is first. No questions about it. Can CJ Carr stop when another team fills the box and stops the run on Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love, which is a hard task to do to begin with? But when they do, is CJ Carr going to be able to throw the ball down the field and get? Let me see something here. Oh, look, another superstar boxing match. Old school, old heads jumping out. Notre Dame. That's what I was going before that throwed me off. Their wide receiver, Great House. I know he was, or I think it was Great House. Let's see. Oh, and back to James Franklin. Hey, look, he may be taking all them goofy pictures like he's getting ready to graduate, but he's got a ton of Penn State commits coming to town this weekend. And I assume in that pep rally, I haven't listened to it. That's the first time I've seen it. But I assume in that pep rally there, they are probably claiming, hey, we need you guys to be crazy and wild this weekend. Yeah, I don't know where Great House went, but he was. That's the question. Can CJ Carr push the ball down the field when they load the box and stop the run? Hold on. We them boys. What is this? Yo. Whoa. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this gig here, boy. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that social media team's gonna be ready for it though. Um, hey, how we doing, Bill? Welcome in, brother. Social media team is going to be ready for the weekend. They're going to get James Franklin. Hey, that might be James Franklin, but I assume that it's going to be rowdy and it's going to be put on blast um, for the Penn State commits and really probably any of the other commits that are in town for that game. Now, the product on the field, they probably need to worry about less than, hey, what is James Franklin coming to build? Because I think they have, I want to say it's Miami this weekend, but I could be off on that one. CBS Sports reports heading into week 13. David Cobb, CBS Sports, David Cobb reports Gunnar Stockton heading into week 13 is the number one quarterback in the country. I'm not going to disagree with that because I've watched him make clutch throws over and over and over and over and over and over. I mean, if you go back and look at the first one of the season that really changed Georgia's trajectory, really, up in Tennessee, that fourth down where he hit Humphreys over the shoulder. Now, great catch. Ball placement was spot on. But really, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts heading into week 13? Give the Couch Coach Call a ring and share your thoughts. I'd like to air you on the show, have you on, see if we can't get your voicemail loaded up and discuss it. Got to get that Couch Coach Call. 6009. And that was that's how many likes we had, but that was a crazy number because, man, that number was, my pops had that number for a long time. 6009. Wow. But heading into week 13, what kind of shakeup are we going to see this weekend? Something's going to happen. It's happened every weekend of the season. There is going to be something. So you let me know. Let me know what you think's about to go down. Is there any goalposts going down this weekend? Could. Definitely could. When you look at the matchups, I don't think any goalposts are going down in Gainesville, Florida. I don't think any goalposts are going down. It might be a road upset, so it may not be any. I wonder if Oklahoma is going to come out flat because of what going to Tuscaloosa, that's a challenge in itself. They went and beat them there. If they come out flat, I think Missouri can put the ball in the end zone. I don't know if they win. I don't know what the spread is, but I wouldn't be shocked on that one. I wouldn't also be shocked if Georgia Tech can fix their defense. They have a championship caliber offense, but that defense isn't stopping Tulane. I'm sorry, but it just is what it. They would not have lost to NC State if they had a defense. Haynes King is doing things that have never been done before in school history. And taking a loss. That's like bonkers. What about this? What about Kentucky at Vandy? You think Kentucky could pull that one out? With how Kentucky manhandled Florida a couple weeks ago. Is there a chance that Kentucky beats Vandy and kind of eliminates them from contention? Um, Alabama needs probably Florida State to win so that NC State loss to Georgia Tech looks or reverse. No, probably want no. You probably want Florida State as a Bama fan, Florida State to lose because you're trying to keep the ACC out of the if you're Alabama because you're on the cut line at 10. You were on the cut line. And then the different scenarios on the SEC. Who's going to win the SEC? Is it going to be Texas A&M? Is it going to be Alabama? Georgia? I don't know. The different scenarios of who wins, this wins, if they win. All I know is it's a beautiful Friday in November. If I don't know, if USC, if USC were to beat Oregon, do they jump? Who do they land in front of? Notre Dame? Say everybody else wins because a lot of them should. A lot of them have some cupcakes. But if they didn't, who would they? I would say Notre Dame. Again, Notre Dame's running game is so good, and they probably wouldn't be even in these discussions if they would have used Jeremiah Love properly against Miami. They didn't, and they took that loss. And I don't like what Hunter said about tiers. Give me a call on the Couch Coach Call. Brought to you by Ball Haw. And some ball hawks of the weekend. KJ Bolden with an interception. Oh, there is a massive dude that already entered the transfer portal. That's crazy to me. I get their situations, but these kids that entered the transfer portal halfway through the year, like, what are you, finished? I mean, does it save your eligibility, or are you just ready to get out of town? And how does that look for next school? I do know that. Remember the young man from Georgia who went to Purdue? Nitro Tuggle. But he was supposed to be elite for us. But he got in some off the field issues and got kicked off the team. And hold up. We them boys. Okay. Interesting. Uh, do, 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 do. Here is the question of the day. Which bubble team has the best chance of getting in? When you look at the bubble teams, I I guess you would look at BYU through through Georgia Tech. I don't think Texas has a chance, even if they beat A&M. Yeah, because Ohio State, Florida, Georgia, they already have 3 losses. There's no way they make it. That they get put in. I can't say there's no way. They might, um, which would be interesting, and it would be a lot of outrage because at that point you would have a 3-loss USC team if they lose to Oregon that maybe didn't get. There's a whole lot, but from 11 to 16, which bubble team has the best chance of getting in? Vandy has a solid chance down the stretch. If they put a whooping on Kentucky this weekend, that's where they you're running out of opportunities to show the committee you are one of the best teams in the country, the top 12 teams or top 11 teams. Pavia, it's time to do your thing, King. Miami's a weird one because like in the brackets they have it, right? Like so when you look at the bracket, Miami is in. I think the gold is ACC championship. Is that correct? And if that's correct, because I mean, champion Tulane getting in that 12th spot. Texas Tech is claiming they want Georgia. Now, has a team like Texas Tech seen Georgia? But catching Ohio State, yeah, I think Carson Beck probably. I think Carson Beck's going to have some turnover issues. Who do they have? So they are okay. So they are going to Virginia Tech. Ooh, that might be an upset of the weekend there because of that juices that the senior James Franklin is bringing up there. Is Virginia Tech going to upset Miami this week on James Franklin's first weekend there? Are the Hokies going to do it? I don't know. I could see it. It's like when these teams fire their coaches and they get that interim head coaching bump. Maybe James Franklin, I don't think he can run with the team. I don't even think he could be on the sideline. So maybe he just runs out pregame before the gates open. Maybe he does his run out. Boom, excellence. And then he sprints straight to the end of the stadium and up the stairs to the suite. But he gets to feel the electricity with the song playing. And then they come out and lose by 40. Could have been 42. Could have been worse. Yeah, I don't know if Miami has Virginia Tech and then at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been up and down. Obviously, they got killed by, but I think everything they got killed by Notre Dame last week. But everything's still in front of them. If Pittsburgh were to beat Georgia Tech this weekend at Georgia Tech, and then go beat hold on, let's go. Georgia Tech beats back up. Pitt beats Georgia Tech. Then they go beat Miami. They're going to be a 3-loss team in the ACC championship. Jeez Louise. There is so much craziness when you look at it. Because Virginia is 9-2, but they're 6-1. So the ACC, man, the ACC can be very, very complex. Yeah, that's let's I wonder what time Lane is speaking to and then like this weekend I don't think so. I do not think so, but I have seen it floated around. Should the committee cap or limit each conference to a certain amount of teams, like 3 or 4? Like maybe the SEC can get no more than 4 teams every year, and the Big Ten can get no more than 40. 10K lives. Yeah. How's your thumb feeling? Yeah. Oh, boy. Hey, did y'all see that? Did you see the homeboy I sent to Trev that was rapping? Yeah. Dude. Oh, no. What happened? What happened? Am I still here? What happened? What happened? I didn't touch nothing that time. Yeah, he's still here. No? Yes. Maybe. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate it. There is a oh, all right, cool, we good. It said disconnected, but I think that was just with y'all hanging in there. But should each conference be capped at 3 teams or 4 teams, depending on like I don't think so. I've seen it floated, and it's probably I didn't dig enough into it. That's on me, but some folks think like, oh, you should get no more than 4 teams, and I don't agree with that. If the Big Ten has 5 of the best teams out of the 12, it's like put them in. That's what we're shooting for with the playoffs, right? Or is it are we just handing out trophies for nothing at this point? I don't know. I wouldn't cap the playoffs. Hold on, let me see what that is. I wouldn't cap a conference to the playoffs. I think you're not doing the reason of the playoff any favors. You do it because you want the best 12 teams in, and if 6 of those teams, which it's going to be hard to do with conference play. But I like what I said on Tuesday. Mixed conference. Oh, that's what I was going with that. Problem is, right? Texas does have 3 losses. One of those losses, though, is to Ohio State by 7. Is that good for them or bad for Ohio State? Well, obviously, it's not hurting Ohio State. But they wanted to preach about strength of schedule, X, Y, and Z. Unfortunately, what happened? You see? They take a loss. Now they have 2 losses. Now, that Florida loss is probably what would land them outside looking in. But that's what I was about to say. If Texas beats A&M, do they get in? Because they only have – I don't know if you could punish their out of – because they could have scheduled anyone in that slot. It didn't have to be Ohio State, and Ohio State didn't have to take the risk and schedule them. So if they were to win against Texas A&M, who would be your number 3 team, does their resume is it strong enough now for Texas to get in the playoffs? Is Sark gonna have a team in the top? It makes it very interesting down the stretch if we have a game like that where Texas beats A&M. Not saying it'll happen, but if it does, all chaos is going to break out. What does that mean? Wait. Hold on. Oh. That was interesting. Oh, here's that. Oh, yeah. What is this thing? Double blast. I don't know what Live Fest 25 is, but we in this bitch somehow. November 24th and 26th, 9 to 10 is bonus hour. Yeah. Get me in the bonus hour, boy. Get me in the bonus hour, boy. I don't know what that is. Oh, see, that's the best. Festivities. Now, I don't think the committee's going to cap conferences because you want the best to get in. So if Texas does beat Texas A&M, it's going to be wild. Let's just say if that happens, it's going to be wild because now homeboys say, Hunter, the chair of the committee, saying, yeah, that's a 13th data point. What if that is a team that, and I'm just, spitballing, what if it's a 2-loss team loses there, Texas beats the 3rd-ranked team, and it's going to be the wild, wild west out there. If you're here, give me a follow. How you doing today, Bill? Help me reach that 100. Trying to get to that 100. But I don't. Arch has been. The thing is with Arch Manning is if it wasn't for his last name, he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be talked about like he is, but it is his last name, so he's going to be talked about like he is. Did he go to the? Did he go to the best school for quarterback development? I don't know. What is Sark's track record? Quinn Ewers. That's the interesting part about that is if he went to another school maybe that had a little bit better quarterback development, would we be talking about him different or no? Probably not. I mean, and it's his first year. I mean, he doesn't plan on going anywhere. Money's obviously not the problem. He's going to get better, but he's going to have to get a lot better. Yeah. It's interesting over there in Austin, Texas. You know, they say that's the comedy capital. Well, Sark has been funny. And there's a video circulating. I don't know if you've seen it or not. That video circulating of Sark where he's talking about, hey, if we're 3-4 years from now and we have 4 losses, then we'll talk. This was at like 21. And it's like, well, here we are, dude. You got 3 losses. Again, it's tough. We as fans want those great games like Texas, Ohio State to open the season. But then as fans of certain team, I don't know if I want that risk, right? And because you're getting punished for it. If it's not, it just makes it very, 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 very weird. I think if a 3-loss team is one of the best teams in the country, but their losses are to somebody who's just superior, or they had it. I mean, I think a 3-loss team, if they're better than a 2-loss team, should get in. Do we also thought about? I don't know where I put it on here. What if we have a play-in weekend, like the weekend of the conference championship? So maybe teams that are not in the conference championship game, maybe they're ranked 13th, 14th, 15th. If they're not in their conference championship game, they play that weekend for a chance at one of those spots. So then everybody knows that their team was ranked. And if it's a 3-loss team versus a 2-loss team, now you know. And it's on that conference championship weekend, but that's how you get in on those last couple spots. Could have your higher conference winner 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, and then yeah, I think that there's a definite change because it's hard for these people at the committee to say, do they even watch football? I mean, they show pictures of them sitting in these chairs watching football. It's like, that's the first time they've watched. And I obviously say that crazy. Some of them are athletic directors and involved and used to be involved, and they absolutely should be at least watching their team, but football in general. But it makes you wonder when some of the things that they say. Um, yeah, I it's questionable. Um, but that's it. That's going to be it today. It's Friday. Enjoy the weekend. We got to soak it in because we don't have many football weekends left. Um, so stream's over. The vibes never stop. If you're here, hit that follow button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Gotta.